Jarred is sponsored by 5thegamer, so for all of your headset needs, go to 5thegamer.com and use discount code JARRED20 at checkout to receive 10% off your next order. Jarred is also partnered with Xtiffy, so for all of your GTA resources, go check out xtiffy.com, that's xtiffi.com. We do have our own website complete with a full episode catalog, merch, and more information about each of our cast members, so you can find that at jarredpodcast.com. We are also on Patreon, so to become a patron, go to patreon.com/jarredpodcast.
I'm there now. Fuck it.
Oh, you know how I...
Yep.
What? Yes.
I had to act quick.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the season finale of Jarred.
Hi. Hey. Season 4 finale. What the fuck? How are we still here? Seriously.
Oh, shit. I forgot to mention the idea of it from earlier to Amber.
Okay.
I'm
But, I
listening.
mean, we had 3/4 majority, so it's law, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, we can.
and it's me, so you know it's a good idea.
Yeah.
So anyway, since we are going off season for a couple of months, usually historically we go about 2 or 3 months.
Yeah.
Off season. So I think this time we're gonna plan probably 3 months or so. Anyway, so because we are going to be in off season for a few months, and our tier 1 patrons, really the only thing that they get is early access to episodes, which means that when we're not releasing episodes, they would get nothing, even though they're paying for it. So what we're going to do in these off months, we're going to have a little bit of a summer special where the bonus episodes will be made available to our tier 1 patrons. But this is only during off season. So if you're a tier 1 patron and you still would like to get bonus episodes after we've resumed with season 5, Jesus Christ, season 5, then you will need to upgrade to tier 2 to continue receiving bonus episodes.
Oh God.
Whoa. As soon as you said
Y'all
season
kept
5,
me around
I
a
was
long
like,
time.
Whoa.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I
Yeah.
confused myself for a second. Y'all have had me for a long time. Wow, thanks.
Yeah.
I appreciate that shit.
Thanks for being here.
Yeah.
So are we allowed...
Stop acting like you're still a guest. You're almost kind of a day one. Almost, not quite, but
Yeah, not
still
quite.
3/4 is majority, so
Right. So are we allowed to talk about now what we want to do for season 5, or do we want to hold that in the bag?
we'll hold that
We'll
in the bag.
hold
We'll
it.
use it for promo material.
Yeah. We'll hold it.
I just know I'm really fucking excited for it. I at least want to convey that much, is that I'm super fucking excited, and I think everyone else is too, so...
Yeah.
Stick
Well,
with
me and
us.
you know what we're doing. I don't know if they know what they're doing, because that's...
Oh, they'll fucking figure it out.
No, I know what subject we're doing. Do I know exactly what mine are going to be? No, but that's beside the point. I'm prepared. I'm going to be more prepared for.
Well, you're gonna have a couple months off to think about it, sweetie, sweaty, sweaty.
Yeah.
I'm just excited about mine because I'm anxious to get the word out about mine. Really,
Right.
Like, it's a situation that I want to aid in if I can at all possible. So that's why I'm just kind of like, let's go season 5. I'm ready to get this out there. So
Season 5. It doesn't sound right. It doesn't sound right.
It's weird.
Yeah.
Ooh.
speaking of big numbers, we are on the road to 10K downloads.
Yes.
So if you're listening to this, don't only listen. Go download it from somewhere. It's Spotify, Apple, Google, whatever you use. Make sure you download it as well, because that will contribute to our numbers. We are getting so close to 10K, and we've got a few tricks up our sleeve for the actual 10K mark. So the sooner we hit that, the sooner our listeners will be apprised of what we've got going on to celebrate.
Yeah. Yeah. Fuck it. Even.
Oh God, I just had another thought about something we could do for the listeners to celebrate too. We'll discuss it later.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's that. What's new this week?
Our April
Oh,
Yeah.
honey. Our April...
Anyone but Ryan.
Our
What's
April
new this week?
Patreon episode, this is what he's trying to say. Our bonus episode for the month of April is available on Patreon. If you want access to that, please go sign up for our Patreon. It is a super special treat. It is titled, Thank God Our Mothers Aren't on Patreon, and it is titled that for a
For
reason.
a very good reason.
Jeanette, don't pay me money for it, please.
Amber, you took the
I
words
will
right
say
out of my mouth.
I had kind of forgotten about most of the episode. I mean, I kind of remembered the basis, but I kind of forgot like most of the content of that episode. So when it released this past week and I got to watch it again, I was like, oh my God, this is
Yeah,
hilarious.
it was
Yeah, no,
so-
I
Like,
ended
it's so
up
much
played
fun.
with a pussy pillow,
Yeah.
so...
Yeah, I was actually contacted by an old friend yesterday, actually, and we got to talking about the podcast, and I knew that she had listened to some episodes. I mean, like when we do the watch parties for new episodes in the Facebook group sometimes, I know that she's always there, but I was talking to her yesterday when we were talking about the podcast, and she was like, I listen to it all the time. It's a really good podcast. And I'm like, oh, fuck yeah, that means we're on the right track. It's always good to get
Yay.
some positive reinforcement.
Right.
Oh,
So
yeah.
we're doing good work,
yeah,
you guys.
I had somebody message me the other day who went over my profile and discovered that I got a podcast, and they messaged me going, "Oh, you got a podcast?" And I was like, "Yeah." Oh, what's the best place to listen to it? So I was like, "Look, follow this link, and it's got all of the links of which app you prefer, and then you started listening to it. They've started on season 3 because conspiracy theories is right up their street, and they've had nothing but praise so far. They started on Free Britney.
God, I love hearing
They
that.
started with Free.
I do too.
They started with Free Britney, loved it. So I said, well, the setting up one to that is on the Patreon. If you wanted to go for that as well. And then she was like, "Oh, I've just seen you've done Princess Diana," and with that, she was straight into it as well. She's like, "I've been listening to them all morning."
Oh, that was such a good one.
She was like, "I've been listening to them all morning at work. Like, they're absolutely amazing. Like, have you, did you do Jeffrey Epstein?" I'm like, yeah. Move on to this one.
Yeah.
I was like, "Of course we did." And then she was like, "Oh."
We cover it all, baby.
And then she was like, "Oh, did you touch on the subject of like Hollywood and stuff like that?" I'm like, yeah. Let's move on to this." Yeah, literally. And she sent me a list of like a load more, and I'm like, "Okay, we didn't do those ones, but my God, it's something that we should really, honestly."
Which, I mean, that just opens the door for the idea of a season whatever, and we go back to conspiracy theories,
Yeah.
because I think
Yeah.
that is
There's
one
so
topic
many.
that's like ever evolving.
Constantly,
So
yeah.
I think, yeah, I absolutely would love to do another conspiracy theory season.
Yeah. And especially if new things develop with the ones we've already talked about, like the Free Britney
Oh.
one, we could always, incorporate a part 2
Yeah.
to whatever topic, because I know at least with the Epstein episode, that Ghislaine Maxwell's trial is not even set until July of this year. So further down the line,
Exactly.
we may have buku more information come up regarding that, enough to cover another episode. Also, unless something changes with this episode and this episode skyrockets for whatever reason, we'll see. Dougie, it's all on you.
No
now.
pressure, Dougie.
But I do want to say congratulations to Amber, because she had, at least in terms of YouTube, she had the most viewed episode this season on our YouTube channel.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Which one?
Sirens.
With River Siren.
Really?
It
Yeah.
blew up.
Yeah, the numbers were the highest on that video. Yep.
Oh, that makes me so happy. Because it's mermaid.
Yeah.
That was a very good one.
Damn.
Oh.
Well, let's see.
We've had a
was
good
sort-
season, boys, and I'm very, very proud to do this with y'all.
It's been different in the sense of
Yeah.
Same.
I've never really, like I've said in previous episodes, I've never really focused much on urban legends. So I was skeptical, I guess you could say, about going into this one. But now that I've learned so much and heard so many other ones, I'm like, damn, like they're good. Like I want to kind of go into a few more and whatever. Yeah, no, I've thoroughly enjoyed this one. So but I'm looking forward to the next one even more.
Yeah, well, every time
I think
go
next
looking for
season,
some,
I
I'll
think that'll
find more.
be.
Yeah, just stumbling across a little bit more here
Yeah.
and there. It's
Oh,
great.
yeah, no, I think I'm with Jess. I'm pretty sure I'm about to finish what she was trying to say. Next season will probably be really fucking.
I think it'll be really big for our numbers. I mean,
It'll hit
we've
hard.
been. Yeah, I mean, we've been on a steady up climb anyway from season 1. It's like the numbers get better and better and better. And I know I say it at the end of every season, but I think that what we're doing next season will draw in pretty big numbers. Hopefully, but, we'll see. We've never really experienced a decline, so maybe
You
now
could-
is the time for that to happen.
The audience could always decide that they hate us and they're sick of our shit.
That
so
could happen.
we're
Yeah.
so thankful for you guys. So
Yeah.
thankful.
We really are.
Yeah, and if you're not a patron on our Patreon, I would highly recommend it. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, please give me your money, but those episodes are so hilarious, and they really are a callback to like the first season,
Yeah.
except we've got a better cast, we've got better quality, usually we're better prepared, but
Kind of.
Usually.
yeah, I mean we do like a variety of things. It's not like the same thing every episode, so
It's so
it's
much-
just it kind.
It's
It
wittier.
goes back to the
it's funny.
yeah, it goes back to it's more relaxed. Like
Yeah.
it really does go back to like the style of the first and second seasons. Except, like I said, we've got better things to
Yeah.
work with. So, highly recommend subscribing to that. And if you subscribe to it now for the tier 1 $5 a month, then you'll be getting all of our summer bonus
You will.
episodes. So there's that. What else was there? Well, I started the 100 baby challenge on The Sims this week.
You fucking idiot.
How's that going?
I only have one, and I know that's a bad idea.
Not good.
No.
Has anyone died yet? How many children are you up to?
No one has died, but one of them did get deleted. Because
Just delete from existence. Just bye bye.
okay, this has a little bit of a backstory. Okay, so I cheated to increase my max household size because before I started this challenge, I was playing in a different household, and that sim in that house, I kind of she did surrogacy on the side to get some extra cash. So I had upped the household size because she carried triplets for this one house, and they were already at max capacity in how many Sims that they could have in their house, so I wasn't able to get rid of all the surrogate babies whenever she had them.
Whoa.
So I cheated to up the max household size to fit the triplets into their adoptive home. And I forgot that I did that. And with the 100 Baby Challenge, you cannot cheat whatsoever. Like, you cannot change the max household size, nothing like that. But I had forgotten I'd done that. And my sim already had, I'm trying to think. Okay, max household is 8 sims. So there was her, 1, 2, 3, 4. I think there was like 6 or 7 kids at the time. And then she had twins. And so it went over the max household size. So I went into my cheats. And I changed it back to 8, the normal number. And then when it was so sudden. Like, I changed it, and then, everything went about as normal in my game, and then all of a sudden, boom. Henderson Riley was deleted. He just disappeared.
But, like, with that
He's just
challenge,
gone.
too, like, the kids, when you raise them up, you have to get them to a certain level on XYZ, and you can't cheat on leveling them up in those certain skills, right?
So, with toddlers, you have to get them to level 3 on everything before they can age up, but you cannot turn aging off. That's the thing. It's kind of, like, chaotic, because you have to have aging, like, natural aging turned on, and simultaneously try to get them all to skill level 3.
Before they age
and
up.
Then right. And then the kids, they have to be an A honor roll. It's like straight A's in their school. And then teenagers, they have to be straight A's when they're in school. And then they can age up. I will tell you right now, I have not leveled all my toddlers up to 3 before they age up. Because, honestly...
That's so fucking much.
No, dude. Like, at one point, I had 6 toddlers in my house at one time. That is not happening. It's literally not happening. None of my Sims are ever just happy. My matriarch, she's always tired. She's always got black circles under her eyes. The 6 kids, I guess, is it 6 kids? I don't know. I guess it's 6 kids now that Henderson got deleted. Yeah, so the 6 kids, they're all kids now. They come back from school every day and they're stressed. They have a little stressed moodlet. They're always orange. They're just stressed all the time.
Good.
And then the one toddler that's left, she was a twin, but he got deleted. The one toddler, she's always sad. She's always sad because no one's paying her attention. And I'm like, you live in a house with 7 other people. How are your socials low right now?
How are you not getting attention from at least one person?
That's what, like, I watched this video by this YouTuber, Nikki Zoid, before I did this, and I never saw anything like this in her videos. I'm not fully convinced that she wasn't cheating during her challenge at this point. I'm going through the thick of it right now, brothers. I'm telling you. No one's ever happy.
Meanwhile, my real life toddler is currently having a crisis right now with his counting, and he's getting very, very confused by 7 and 11, and I can't say that I...
Because it rhymes?
Yeah, he's getting so confused.
Aww.
Bless his heart.
Oh,
he's like 5, 6, 11, 8, and I'm like, no, that one's 7.
That's adorable. Jess, fuck you.
I'm 19.
Dude, I'm not convinced that Weldon doesn't have it.
Oh my god, did you see how I spelled tomatoes on my order last night? I almost had a stroke.
I just woke up this morning and saw that, and then I saw your comment afterwards. I'm like, oh my fucking god.
Tomato.
They didn't have, like, that website. It didn't, for whatever reason, like, link up with my, like, autocorrect on my phone. So I was just, like, typing like a madman trying to order my Mikasita, and I'm like, TAMOTOE.
My mateos.
Tamotos.
Tomatoes.
Oh, God.
One last thing, and then we'll let Dougie get started. It's okay. This is the finale, so we got some extra time. I planted a garden last week, and I think I finally have a sprout. Maybe. I don't know yet. It could just be a weed, but I Googled a picture. And it looks like what's in my garden, so I'm very excited.
Oh, I need to water my lavender and chamomile now that you said that.
I planted chamomile.
Did
and
you?
Sunflowers. Yeah, and cucumbers.
Yeah, didn't you plant like 12 cucumbers?
My
More than you were meant to or something? I don't know.
She put like 7 cucumber seeds in one hole.
Yeah. They came out kind of fast, and like I was just like, well, I don't feel like, I was wearing gloves, and it's kind of hard to pick up seeds with the gloves. I was like, I don't feel like picking those up, so just cover them up, water
Hope for
them,
the
we're
best.
good. Yeah. Yeah.
Odds are good
So
that
if
something
anyone
will
needs
work.
Yeah.
cucumbers,
Place your
Right.
bets.
I'm just hoping that I have a lot of cucumbers, and then I can learn how to pickle them, and then I can make my own fried pickles. Never spend money on fried pickles ever again, baby.
Ever again.
So yeah.
Nice.
Cool.
Now cue up Porky the Pig on the little Looney Tunes screen. That's all, folks.
So, Dougie, what have you got for us?
Dougie.
Well,
Woo! Let's show
funnily
him his
enough, Jess
titties.
actually got it right last week
What you
Jack
mean?
the
with
Ripper?
what mine's about. Yeah.
Jack the Stripper?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought
Jack the Stripper?
when you said that I should know something
What?
about it, I immediately knew. Well, it's going to be Jack the Ripper. Like most.
I thought that was
Are
like an
you
actual like,
serious?
confirmed thing though.
Are you fucking serious?
What?
I'm ready.
Well, the thing is, I started going into it like I've got a brief history. I'm going to go through a brief thing about Jack the Ripper for those who might not know exactly who he was. But then continuing on for my side, looking into what this legend is supposed to be about, the more I read into it, the less I believe that it's real, so to speak.
Oh, here we fucking go
Oh.
again.
Okay, this will be interesting because
This is
No,
I've
Bigfoot
well-
all over again for Jess.
So, where are we? So, my urban legend is that some believe that Jack the Ripper left England and moved to Australia and, yeah, died here. Because of there's a similar... This guy murdered his wife and kids, 2 wives and kids. But the way that he did it was not exactly similar as what Jack the Ripper would do. So, anyway,
I
I'll
love
start at
murder.
the top with Jack the Ripper. So,
Fucking
Jack the Ripper, my sources are history.com, wikipedia.com, birdgells.com. I think that's probably said that completely wrong. But anyway, so Jack the Ripper terrorised London in 1888, killing at least 5 women and mutilating their bodies in an unusual manner, indicating that the killer had a substantial knowledge in human anatomy. He was never captured or identified, and he still remains one of England's and the world's most infamous criminals. So all of the killings took place in the Whitechapel district in London's East End from August 7th to September 10th, 1888. I didn't realise they were all in the one year, so I didn't know that before. Several other murders occurred around the same time period. Also been investigated as the work of Leather Apron was another nickname they were given. But, yeah, police investigated so many different... There was more than 100 suspects were named, but nothing was ever proved. The biggest thing I'd heard about Jack the Ripper was, his knowledge of the human anatomy, the way the way he... I don't have any actual descriptions of how he sliced up, but I know, yeah, it was weird the way he killed people.
It was very anatomical and precise.
I was just about to say precise.
Best word.
Intricate. Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it wasn't just a hacker sort of thing.
Right.
It was very methodical.
It was methodical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So people still know nothing about him. And there was even a 2011 British detective, Trevor Marriott. He's been investigating the murders. He was denied access to uncensored documents surrounding the case by the by the police.
Metropolitan Police.
Do you mean Metropolitan?
Yeah.
Ryan 19.
I got your wall now.
Their reason for refusing it was that they included protected information about police informants, and that handing over the documents could impede on the possibility of future testimony by modern-day informants. And it's like, what difference is it going to make, really? It's not like the guy's around now to deny it.
Long gone.
So, but, yeah. So, onto the Australian side.
Yeah.
So, many locals believe that the final resting place of the infamous serial killer Jack the Ripper was actually Australia. The theory goes that Jack the Ripper's secret identity was an Englishman named Frederick Bailey Deeming, who fled Britain in July of 1891 after slaughtering his wife and children and leaving them buried under the floorboards.
Yikes.
Upon his arrival in Australia, Frederick claimed his next victim, a local woman, who he disposed of in Melbourne before disappearing into the Australian wilderness. He was eventually caught and hanged. By the brutality of his crimes, led many to believe that he and Jack the Ripper were the one and the same. Frederick was also known as the Windsor Murderer. So, yeah, that's what this urban legend is about. That they believe this guy to be Jack the Ripper. But it was weird. I looked up Frederick, and 3 different websites, information varied slightly. Like 2 of them had the same birth year of 1853. Another one had him as born as 1842. But I had 3 different locations as to where he was born. So it's, yeah.
Right.
Oh, sorry, 2 different locations to where he was born, sort of varying.
Wow.
But the main area, so he was born in 1853, supposedly, at Ashby, I'm going to say this completely wrong, Ashby de la Zouch, Leicestershire, England.
I should
What?
know this.
Ryan?
Stamp.
No one's here to correct you, so...
What was it again, Dougie?
Ashby de la Zouch, Zouch.
Yeah, no, that's right. Yeah, Ashby de la Zouch.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, northwest Leicestershire. Yeah.
Let me find out
And-
Ryan's related to this motherfucker.
So little is known about his early life, but he had spent years in asylums, and apparently both parents had as well.
Sounds about right.
He was an epileptic from the age of 18, though one of his brothers denied the claims, and he ran off to sea at about 16. In 1881, at Tranmere, Cheshire, he married Marie James. He deserted so then in August, he left England on a ship and jumped off in Sydney, where he worked as a plumber and gas fitter until 1882, and was sentenced to 6 weeks jail for the larceny of 8 gas burners. His wife Mary joined him in July. They had 3 girls, of whom 2 were born in Sydney and a boy. After working as a gas fitter at Melbourne and at Rockhampton in Queensland, he returned to Sydney in 1884, where he prospered briefly in business on his own account, but in December 1887 he was declared bankrupt and received 14 days jail for perjury. In 1888 he was in Cape Town using the name Harry Lawson and was involved in successful frauds and theft in Klerksdorp and Johannesburg. He went back to England in 1890 and this one's all a bit jumpy. 1890 he went through a form of marriage at Beverley in Yorkshire with Helen Matheson, posing as Lawson, an Australian sheep farmer. He paid for the wedding with the proceeds of fraud, then hurriedly left England alone, and then was arrested in Montevideo, in Uruguay. He was extradited back to England, spent 9 months in jail for the fraud, but was not prosecuted for bigamy because he's married to two different women. Yeah. After his release in 1891, he rented Dinham Villa at Rainhall in Lancashire under the name of Albert Oliver Williams, and was briefly reunited with his wife Marie and children.
Did you say Albert?
Albert, yeah.
Okay.
What?
Well, it's just an interesting name.
On September 22nd at St Anne's in Rainhall, as Williams' army inspector. He was supposedly an army inspector. I should have paid a bit more attention. They're jumping back and forth. They're now... So I didn't even see... So technically he actually married 3.
This man is...
Ooh, big ball of shot caller.
He had the children with Mary. Then he's done the Helen Matheson, but haven't seen anything else about Helen Matheson looking, because the other one that he
This man said, I got hoes in different area codes.
Was
For real.
Emily Mather. So, Mather, however you pronounce it.
Oh my God.
On 22nd of September, I'm guessing in 1891, he married Emily Mather. The couple left England, arriving in Melbourne on the 15th of December. Under the name of Druin, he rented a brick cottage, which still stands apparently, in Windsor. And there, on or about Christmas Day, he battered his wife around the head, cut her throat, and buried her under the second bedroom hearthstone, or hearthstone,
Ugh.
cementing her body in with materials he had bought the week earlier. On January 1892,
I love it here.
as Dawson, he auctioned his African effects and Emily Mather's clothes, defrauded a jeweller, wrote to a matrimonial agency seeking a wife, sailed to Sydney, and became engaged to Kate Rosenfeld at Bathurst. Bloody hell, he's not messing around,
this
is he?
man is not.
He then departed to Western
No.
Australia as Baron Swanston, sought work as a mining engineer. So,
This
man said, I just keep knocking them the fuck out.
I'm just wondering. I mean, I know it was a long time ago, and the standards of beauty have changed, and yada yada yada. But I mean, this guy had to be attractive, right? You would think, at least
Yeah.
back then, you would think he would be considered attractive.
Yeah,
if he's
I
like
mean-
bagging
I
this
did
many
see a
hoes,
photo
like
and he looked average. The big defining feature was
What's-
his big bushy mustache.
But I mean, if you're
Send
suave enough, you can get
nudes.
away with being average.
send
Okay.
Jack the Stripper nudes, please.
So
That's half the people I've ever slept with.
So if you Google Frederick,
I'm doing it. Doing it.
Let's look at this man.
Frederick Douglass.
Frederick
That's not
Bailey
right.
Deeming.
That is not no baby.
What was it, Dougie?
Frederick Bailey Deeming.
Okay, let's see. Oh, he was. I mean, he ain't have no lips, but other than that, he's all right.
That is a mustache.
I'm looking at. Okay, I do see that one, but I'm looking at the other one, the black and white, like diagonal, like side photo. He wasn't.
Okay, hold on. My phone just screwed up. Give me a second.
Yeah, okay, I could. Yeah. I get it.
I mean, he's a good looking guy, especially because, back then it wasn't the same as it is
No.
now. Like, people
I
from
mean,
back then, I
that's-
would think, I'd say were pretty ugly.
I mean, I feel like the ears might be a little crazy, but that's a good jaw, maybe.
And
I don't know.
He looks like he has like those like lighter eyes, which I'm like a big fan of, like really light eyes, which is ironic because I'm married to someone with brown eyes, but I'm a really big light eyes person, like the whole Megan Fox thing with like the dark hair.
Oh, with the dark hair and fuck yeah.
Oh yeah, the crazy eyes, like the really light eyes, yeah. Anyway.
The thing that gets me the most is all the reports from people that were interviewed with regards to him said he was loud, obnoxious, very ostentatious. He's always, like, he was known for flaunting jewellery and money, and basically trying to be what he wasn't.
Yeah.
Trying to be someone that's got plenty of money.
Overcompensating.
Pretty much all his money came from illegal gains. And whatnot,
Money is
but-
money, baby.
Yeah. But anyway, so... Yeah. And no one really liked him that much.
No, clearly, no.
But apparently he did well with the women.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
So on the 3rd of March, he'd paid a month in advance rent on the house he was staying in with Emily.
Nice.
And pretty much, like, the neighbours were concerned, like, where is your wife? Oh, she's gone away for a while, for a business or something like that. And
Likely story.
it was actually, he used that excuse for both. Why the family suddenly disappeared.
Yeah.
They've gone away.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so he took off. The house stayed empty for a month. The landlord never heard from him again, so it's like, okay, I'll rent the house out again. Showing prospective renters, and they're like, what's that smell? It's really bad. And he's like, I don't know. So upon investigation, there's like, something's not right here, so they got the police involved, and that's when they found the recently cemented floor and dug it up. And and through investigations, upon trying to work out who he was, where he is, they worked out when he'd come in. Okay, he was from England, got his real name. Okay, he did live at this address. They went to that address, and hence, same thing. Brought up the floorboards, and there was his whole family.
Ooh, damn.
All of them.
We love it
slit
here.
Throats.
Yikes.
Every single one had a slit throat. All his kids
Oh my god.
and his wives.
Ah.
Though it's only the Emily one where they mention about him bashing a skull in. I don't know how much, but yeah, several blows to the head, apparently, as well as slicing a throat.
Oh god.
Oh.
So, the Australian police put out an wanted poster, and he was caught in Southern Cross here in Western Australia, where he was working as Baron something. Oh, forgot that again. But so he denied anything about, no, I'm not from Lancashire. I've never been there.
Likely
I don't know
story.
where it is and all that sort of thing. Yeah. So he was sentenced to death and was hanged. Apparently, he wrote an autobiography while he's in jail, but that got destroyed.
What? That'd be that.
What?
What the
Yeah, but he's had multiple names
True.
and been done for fraud many a times and theft.
Yeah.
So how much of it would have been true?
Yeah, it's a good point actually. Yeah.
So,
Oh.
yeah. But like I said, going off the history of Jack the Ripper and what I've known about everything like that, his style of murdering women was completely different to the way this guy sort of comes across.
Yeah.
It just, to me, yeah, he sliced his throat, but that's the only similarity.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't...
But I mean, think about it this way.
To me, he just
If
doesn't fit the
you
bill with
was-
his character and everything like that of what I see Jack the Ripper as.
But if you were a serial
it's-
killer and
he's
you were fleeing one country
Too
and
sloppy
went to
sort of
another,
thing. It
wouldn't you
it
change
just
it
feels
up a
too
bit?
sloppy.
Oh, I must be lagging.
No, you're not.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he could, but to me, Jack the Ripper, that was his thing. I know it's wrong to say that, but he sort of got off on what he
Yeah.
did with the women in London. And I can't see him changing his style just because it's like, oh, I might get caught, I'm out of here, I'll go to Australia, yet I'll leave
I
bodies
understand that.
over here and bodies over here that are tied to me, sort of thing, connected to him as a person.
Yeah.
So that leaves
Well,
a trail
that's-
where no evidence has ever been found of who Jack the Ripper was. So why would
That's
he
the
suddenly
thing,
become
it's like-
sloppy on that side of thing? It's those details.
You
get
could
that.
look at it from the perspective of like if he did go to a different country, obviously these are just basically prehistoric times. So the mode of communication and the speed of communication between countries is obviously not going to be as fast as it is now. So if Jack the Ripper somehow managed to escape London or wherever he was and make it to Australia, I could see him balling out a little. I don't see him changing his style though.
No.
Like in terms of killing, because Amber, how many fucking murder and crime shows have we watched? And they profile serial killers because they usually serial killers have an MO, like a routine.
Oh.
So and
Golden
they
State Killer.
take pride in their routine.
Yeah.
Right. They're very type A, usually, serial killers are.
Yeah.
Except for Richard Ramirez, that dude was all over the fucking
He
place.
was off the fucking chain, bro. He did not give a single fuck.
He was an anomaly, though, because with most serial killers, that's how they profile these guys, like the cops or whoever, because they have a routine.
Yeah, they like having that signature or that, sort of claim to whatever it is that they're committing. So,
Yeah.
I totally understand that. And, it's not like he would have had the wherewithal back in, what year did you say, Dougie?
1888.
Yeah, I don't think he would have had the wherewithal back in that day to be like, okay, well, people are starting to catch on. I might want to switch up. If this was absolutely anywhere within this century, you might want to think that. But back then, maybe not so much.
Yeah. Yes, Frederick did happen to be in that area that year, sort of thing. That's the only thing that,
It's
he was in
circumstantial.
England in that year, so that's the only thing that sort of can link him to it. But just his character, from everything that I read up on him, and his behaviour, and the way that he did murder them, just to me, it's like, no, that can't be Jack the Ripper, because for the simple fact that Jack the Ripper did so well to cover his tracks. He never left it. There was no evidence to link anyone, no trace of anything to link anyone to the murders.
No, there wasn't.
They couldn't pin it on anyone.
There was one time where there was one time where somebody witnessed him fleeing from one of his victims and crimes, but no one was able to catch him or identify him or anything like that. That is the closest it came. So he left everything tidy, as it were.
I was about to say, how much are you going to catch from someone that's running away too?
Well, on the flip side of it, though, like I mentioned earlier, if he had managed to get to a different country, the cops, I'd be very surprised if they had open lines of communication between the countries back then. So if he were to flee the country and get somewhere else, I could see him being like, I'm somewhere new. They're not looking for me here. They don't know what the fuck I did, wherever else. They're not expecting me to be here. I could see him maybe getting a little sloppy if he went to another country, especially one that's like overseas and not within the same kind of region. Yeah. I could see him being like, they're not looking for me. Whatever. I'm going to do what I want.
But the main thing for me is the fact that the killings that Jack the Ripper was linked to were just random women. These ones, he actually this guy was married to. So that's the link. That's that thing that links him to those murders. So that's
you would think, to be sure, even if he did leave a different country, he would be smart enough to not have a relationship, a personal relationship, to whoever his victim was.
Yeah.
But then you have to think about like the probability side of it. It's like, what are the chances that this family annihilator guy and Jack the Ripper are terrorizing England at the same exact time, especially back then. Like, what's the probability there? Like, percentage speaking. I mean, what are the? I'm not even playing devil's advocate. I'm just trying to look at like all sides of it. But it's like,
Well,
No,
what
I
could
totally-
possibly be the chances that this guy and Jack the Ripper were there at the same fucking time? Like,
Yeah, no, I
Well,
completely agree.
apparently, at that time, like, prostitution was illegal to a certain degree.
Yeah, to a certain degree.
Like,
world's
as long
oldest
as-
profession, baby.
No, it was illegal if someone complained, if too many people complained about it. So it was fine if no one complained.
Yeah.
So a lot of the women were murdered. Like one woman was, I read, there's 4 guys beat the living crap out of this one woman, and yeah, I don't think they got charged with her murder. Or I didn't see anything about that, but it was just a brief description of a lot of the street workers were murdered, but it was never reported in the news or anything like that because
Why?
the society didn't care about
Yeah,
them.
they did.
Because
They're
no one
low-
will miss them.
No,
That's
no,
the
they're
thing.
lower class. Yeah, basically,
Yeah.
they're not
Back
important.
then, it was a whole different world.
That's
Back then,
I'm
if you weren't rich,
I hate
No one
back
cared about
then.
you.
Sex workers matter.
even
No.
now. I mean, that murder. Like, I'm like fascinated by murder in like whatever form, but the one that just like really I want to go murder someone is when it's a sex worker, because when people murder them, all they're thinking is, oh, this is a nobody. This person is nothing. No one's gonna miss them if they go missing
this
or if
person
they
has
die.
no family. They have no
Those just-
important relationships. This is the reason why they're doing this is because it's their last option. Like, those are the things that go through
Those just
people's
piss
heads when
me
they want to hurt people
off.
like that. And it's like,
Yeah.
fuck you.
I started this documentary on Netflix a couple months ago. I do not remember what it was called now, but it was based in England or the UK, and it was actually about a serial killer in like the 70s or the 80s who was, I believe he was solely killing sex workers. I don't remember what he was called though. Ryan, do you know what I'm talking about?
I'll
Probably
be honest with you,
not.
I don't.
Yeah, that shit drives me nuts. Like, I'm such a big fan of murder. It's not. I'm not a big fan
Not
of
that
murder.
we like the act of murder, but we are very fascinated in certain discussions that stem from murder. Is
That's
what
what she's
Jess
getting at.
means.
Right, like
Yeah.
the ones that make me angry, like the ones that make me angry they usually involve sex workers. I'm intrigued by family annihilators. Those don't like, I mean, they're angering for sure, but I actually tried to go, well, I was considering going back to college to get a psychology degree so I could try to understand
Yes, was
family
it-
annihilators
was it,
because I think they're just
Was it
so
Peter
interesting.
Sutcliffe? The
Oh, I don't
the
know what his
Yorkshire
name
Ripper?
was.
Yorkshire
Actually, it was
Yeah.
called The Ripper
Yeah,
on
Yorkshire
Netflix.
Ripper. Yeah.
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 Okay,
That's
boys,
funny.
we-
I cannot believe I forgot that name.
Boys, I'm in a delicate situation. My headphones are wireless. I can hear everything you say, but I have to pee.
Okay. I'm glad she said. I thought she was gonna.
I'm listening to everything,
Okay.
sweeties. You're doing
I cannot
such a
believe
good
I forgot-
job.
I cannot believe I forgot the name of that documentary. We're sitting here talking about Jack the Ripper, and it's
It's actually-
fucking
yeah,
the Ripper.
the Ripper.
Okay.
yeah. So me personally, I don't believe he was Jack the Ripper. It's just my belief that that's too sloppy.
Yeah,
I don't see Jack the Ripper being like that. Like fleeing the UK after murdering his wife and kids, then fleeing and marrying again, doing the same
Yeah.
thing, and then just continuing on as normal.
You,
Yeah.
It just
I will
It doesn't
say
sit right
that
for me.
family annihilators are usually quite different
Yeah.
profile speaking from
Yeah.
like serial killers or like random killers.
Yeah.
So that's where I kind of see like it could go either way, but for this guy, I don't know that, I'm sure it's possible, but I don't know how likely it is that he's both a serial killer and a family annihilator, because that's so rare that I can't even think of an instance where that's happened before.
Yeah.
But
like I said, his character just, for me, doesn't fit what...
Yeah, I mean, Jack...
From everything I've read and heard about Jack the Ripper, even though no one knows who he is, he really just... His character just doesn't fit that profile.
his demeanour was different.
That type of person.
He
his character...
He selected his targets almost at random as well. Like, he had no personal relationship with them whatsoever. Literally, when he met them within
that we know of.
It's from what the reports that come out, literally within half an hour of him like interacting with them, they were in the streets dead or found in the bedroom. Like that, they were Whereas this other guy, he just seems to be all over the place, and then like, bored, let's move on to the next one, but let's just finish off this chapter first in a messy way.
How many times did this guy kill his wife and his entire family?
Twice. He was charged with two
so
murders. So one wife with 4 kids, and then his second wife.
So my brain gears are kind of moving here. I'm kind of wondering if the Ripper, if he was Jack the Ripper, if the Ripper stint was kind of hit like him getting warmed up, because with the whole, I'm thinking with family annihilators, it is what happens usually. I've looked into these particular profiles a lot because I'm fascinated. But with family annihilators, what usually happens, or statistically what has happened, is that they will kill their entire families and then they commit suicide. Yeah. And that's it. That's a strange aspect to this, that he would go on, get another family, kill the entire... That's kind of like serial killer-ish tendencies.
But one very notorious family annihilator,
Chris Watts.
I wasn't even gonna say that. I was gonna say John List. That's a man who his family, he raised, his wife. I think they either had 2 or 3 children, and his mother living with him. They were all, I can't remember if it was Mormon. I'm pretty sure they were all Mormon. And he annihilated the entire family, killed his wife, killed his kids, killed his own mother. It may have been his mother-in-law, but I know they said his mother, so that could go either way. And they were in incredible debt. He was in incredible debt. Was not making very much. Annihilated the entire family. Basically left a note saying, hey, we just had all this debt. My daughter wanted to aspire to be an actress, and I'm not with that shit because I'm Mormon. And, said all these things, and basically just started a whole new life, got a whole new wife, started a whole new family, started from scratch. And do you know, this is what's so funny, when he murdered his family, he basically lined up the bodies, like in the living room or something. He went to extreme measures. He set the temperature of the house to very, very, very cold. That way he could slow decomposition. Yep. Okay, listen. The chandelier that was in that house that I'm guessing he didn't realize at the time when he bought the house, it was a Tiffany chandelier, and it was worth enough to cover all of his debt.
That's how they are. That's how they are. And now that we're talking through, did he kill himself or did he go to prison?
No, he started a whole new life. What happened? This is how he got caught. It's so funny. Most people know in America the show America's Most Wanted.
Right.
Okay, they aired his story on America's Most Wanted. They presented a bust of what he would look like today. They got it so perfect. They matched his glasses perfectly on that bust. And he was caught by, his neighbor called in and was like, yeah, that bust looks just like my neighbor. He had changed his name, changed his occupation. Like, he started a brand new life. John List, if you ever have the time to look him up,
I've never heard of that. I'm going to look it up. Are there any documentaries about him?
Oh, yeah. He had a whole episode on Forensic Files.
Hell yeah.
Oh, baby, his shit. Oh, my God. It was bonkers. But
you
that's
just,
about the only...
never...
Yeah.
I mean, you just never hear about these family annihilators who just, like, continue on. It's like they kill their families.
Oh,
and then
he was one of them.
Kill
He was
themselves,
one
and
of
that's
them.
it.
He was very...
And now Amber has this. My first thought was Chris Watts. This guy thought he was going to go live a new life with his girlfriend after he killed his family, so...
And I'm sorry, but I don't see why she's a free woman.
Listen, bitch. I'm in a couple of Facebook groups about that. Okay?
Yeah. So, with what you were saying before, Jess, that it's possible it could be him. The Jack the Ripper murders were 1888, and it was 1891 when he murdered his wives. So, 1891, 92, somewhere in there. So,
It's just confusing. This is what I love about murderers.
But for me personally, I don't believe
Don't,
it was.
Ryan.
Don't think.
I literally went to start a sentence with a hand gesture, and you don't cut me off like that.
She's like, not Ryan with a thought.
I fucking forgot now. Fuck you.
Fuck, thank you so much, Dougie. This one is so I just love this shit. This is so intriguing because it's like there are so many ways that it couldn't be him and there are so many ways that it could. Like if it is him, it's so weird and rare that he would kill his family and be a serial killer at the same time. Like that doesn't happen. Like that's amazing. Not in a good way, but like in a unique way.
Just like I'm inspired.
I know who my first is gonna be.
Thank you very much, everybody. I
just love.
Catch you later.
I love serial killers who break the mold, who like they go outside the profile of like what they what people think that they're gonna do. Not that I love them or
get what you're saying.
Nothing like that.
She
it's just
finds,
fascinating.
And it's because it is astonishing because statistics and science will tell you that if they have XYZ behavior, they'll do XYZ this. But then when someone, I mean, it's not that. It's not.
Everyone
even
loves
so
an
much
anomaly.
Yes, it's not even so much that it's refreshing. It's like it's an anomaly. It's a thing to witness. And it's, very much that's also important information to have because not every killer's the same.
No.
Why I'm obsessed with the Chris Watts case. I'm like, damn, Charles could really just wake up tomorrow and fucking kill me.
There is something I wanted to now, but give it 12 hours.
Right. Like, what the fuck? Anyway, so, Dougie, there was this one case I wanted to ask you about. I didn't know if you had, I'm sure you've had, I don't know. But anyway, I read about it first on Facebook, and then this YouTuber who, like, does makeup and talks about murder, Bailey Sarian, she talked about it as well. And I just wanted to ask you if you'd heard about it. It was, I believe, the first woman in Australia to be given the death penalty. I think her last name was Knight. It was something like really basic, like not basic, but common. Her first name like Elizabeth or something like that, because she had murdered her husband in such an egregious way that I guess she was given the death penalty. I think if I recall correctly, it said that she was the first woman in Australia to receive the death penalty. Do you know what I'm talking about? I think she had like cooked her husband, and she was preparing to feed it to her stepchildren when the cops showed up.
I've heard of this. I've heard of the
Oh
story.
God! So like,
I actually did read up on that when was it? I was looking for other information. Oh, we were just talking about serial killers in one of our episodes, or some stage, whether it was just in a group chat or whatnot, I can't remember. And I looked up Australian serial killers, and I did actually read about that woman.
it was bad.
And
like,
yeah,
I don't even.
she literally did kill her family, her husband, cooked him up, and
She had the table set.
She had the
when
table
cops
set
showed up.
for all the family when the cops showed up.
And whenever
one of the
if
reports said there was a curtain going into the kitchen,
yes,
and that was
yes.
his skin. She'd skinned
Yes.
her husband, and the curtain
The
was his
cops
skin.
walked in. Yes, the cops walked into the house and pulled the skin, or they didn't realize it was the skin. They thought it was a curtain. They pulled the curtain back, and the cop noticed that it left blood, like on his arm or something. And then they looked at it and they realized it was human skin.
Guys.
And then they got into the kitchen, and the table was set for her to feed her husband to the kids.
Guys.
Yeah.
Can we do a season
Amber's
on
drunk.
just serial killers?
What?
I would love that, dude. I would love that so much. I would love a season on family annihilators. Like, I would go balls deep in that shit. Like, oh, fuck. I've got such a for family annihilators.
But yeah, I think she was definitely the first
Look at Ryan.
first female.
I don't know what to make of Jess right now. I don't know what to make of her. Like, she's incredibly
bad.
horny, but for the wrong reasons. Like, I don't know what to make of her right now.
I'm so horny for true crime. Oh, fuck.
I mean, that's just it, period.
I just love it. Golly. No wonder I love Dexter so much. He's just murder.
Yeah, that
That was a
very,
good one,
very,
Dougie.
Very good one.
That made my brain like, I love that shit where it's like, did they or didn't they?
And what's so awesome about it is that it feels like it's either one side of the coin or the other. Like it could be.
There's
50-50.
so many things in play that it could be either.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, I'm pretty confident with Dougie on this one that they're not the same, because of how different they are. But
There are solid arguments
for why they could be the same as well. Yeah, completely. So
It's like, serial killers are not usually family annihilators. Family annihilators are not usually serial killers. But it's like, sometimes there's this small percentage that it
and
could
going
happen.
off the main stereotype is they don't really change their, like you say, their MO. They stick to what they have.
And it-
you know.
It could be that this guy went to Australia knowing what the UK was looking for whenever he murdered those people, and he's like, I'm gonna still
Change it up a
kill,
little bit.
but I'm gonna do it in a different way.
There's that as well.
1000%.
Yeah,
It's very
just doesn't sit right.
no.
with me.
There's a lot of
Sits right
back
with
and
me.
forth with
Oh.
it. Really, it comes down to Jess.
Oh,
I love true crime so much. I swear to God.
Flog us off after
I'm right
this.
there with you, babe. I'm right there with you.
I can't tell you how many
but,
fucking
yeah, it-
Discovery documents I've read.
Like I said, for me personally, Jack the Ripper was very methodical in how he did it, and basically didn't leave evidence behind of any trace to link him to it. Whereas
And this guy seemed
one
to just piss in the wind.
he didn't give a fuck.
No, he really did.
Basically.
What makes me mad about this situation is that back then, DNA didn't even come into play until
No.
late 80s, early 90s, I don't think. So back then, it should have been fairly easy to get away with murder.
Oh yeah.
So this just kind of pisses me off a little bit because this guy's like, I'm just going to murder my family twice over, and like I'm not even going to be discreet about it. They're getting buried under the floor in my house. Like if I
Jess
was a
is
murderer
like-
back
Like
then,
I said,
Jess is
Apparently
like, you
he-
could have done a much better job. What the fuck is your problem?
well, I mean,
right? I
going
mean,
off what I've read about him, he wasn't really all there
Yeah.
anyway. And
oh fuck that! I like killers who are smart.
so Frederick was in his mid-30s, I think.
Well, he was handsome.
Well,
he
I
didn't
think
have to be
anyone
smart.
who actively wakes up and decides,
Ryan,
I'm
what's
going
your-
to kill
what's
a
your
person
excuse?
isn't
Sorry,
all
Jess. What
there.
did you ask me?
Nothing. It was a roast. No.
Oh, you feel bad for roasting me? I don't believe that for one fucking second.
If you get the audio
pretty,
back, just
I'm gonna
just
isolate
it.
just.
It was pretty
Go on, then.
hardcore.
Repeat it. Go on, repeat it. Come on, I want to hear it. Hit me with it. Hit me
No
with
balls.
I feel really.
it. You
bad.
feel. You
it.
got. It must
I
be
didn't
bad
hear
if
it 'cause
Jess
I
is
was
feeling.
yapping my fat ass mouth.
I said Frederick was handsome, so he could afford to be dumb, and then I said, Ryan, what's your excuse?
Hey.
You hairy little cupcake.
I told you it was bad.
Hairy little cupcake. Nobody wants a hairy cupcake, Amber. If I ordered a fucking cupcake and it's hairy,
You're
I'm like,
so
my
pretty.
fucking money back.
I'm
You're
gonna say this
so
right
pretty.
now. That was a really intense roast. I'm just gonna say this right now. I think everyone here is beautiful. If I didn't think you were all beautiful simultaneously, then you wouldn't see me almost naked as much as you do. So
That's praise enough.
Thank
That is
you.
praise enough for me. I'm good. I'm good looking enough to see Jess half naked. I'm happy.
that, but
Yeah,
with
that
no
just,
context.
Just that on its own.
None.
Just clip that bit.
Our video calls are very interesting, people. That's all we have to say.
Yeah.
Maybe we should make a new tier on
Yeah,
Patreon.
and you guys get to see my booty
Yeah.
all the time. So.
Yeah, you guys get to see my chicken
My little
legs.
booty.
I don't let uglies see me naked. So
Oh my god.
Well, technically, we haven't seen you naked.
Yeah.
So
I was a little naked earlier. I was a little naked.
that was
Yeah,
a
it was a
streak.
very
We
quick,
didn't-
just blur.
It's just a blur.
I was like running past the camp. I was like, oh, I forgot my onesie. Oh.
Oh my god.
I just walk in her house and ass cheeks are out and I don't ask questions. I'm just thinking.
I brought the boxers out for Amber last week. I brought the fucking boxers out, dude.
Did.
Wow.
Charles has these like red silky boxers. I don't even know what they say. They're these really cheesy like Valentine's Day boxers. I don't know. They've got like smooch marks all over them or something. It says like, I don't know, kiss me or something stupid. Something Valentine's Day. I brought those out for Amber. She loved it.
I did. Every second of it.
Well, unless there's anything else to add, I think that'll do it for the season
Yeah, I
4
got
finale
nothing.
of Jarred.
Woo!
Man.
Congrats,
Yeah.
Dougie. You did such a good
Yeah.
job.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was
I think-
awesome. God, that was
Yeah, it
fucking
was.
awesome.
Good way to finish.
Definitely.
It was a
Yeah.
great way to finish.
That was a strong finish, just like me and Ryan's mom later.
Fuck yes, yes.
Yeah, but she doesn't need a cheerleader.
I'm just saying that was a good one.
My mum is peacefully sleeping. Leave her be. No
We
comment.
love you.
Anyway. Now, for the next couple months, we can start recording the fun episodes.
these haven't been fun
bonus
already?
episodes. So please become a patron. Oh, these are like educational. These are like these are like the National Geographic
now
of
it-
Jarred.
Get ready for drinking games and titties.
Right now? Okay.
No,
We're
not
going
now,
to-
not now.
We're gonna be drinking. We're going to be roasting. We're going to be naked. Oh, maybe I should show up naked for one of the bonus episodes. I mean, you guys don't really see, like, that much anyway. I could just...
I was going to say, we could start a jarred OnlyFans.
I mean, it would bring the customer base in a little bit more.
I mean, you guys
We
really...
could launch our feet pics that way.
My titties could be out right now and you guys wouldn't even know.
I could proudly show my third
You
nipple.
can't see that low. Oh, God, yeah. So be on the lookout on our social media accounts for any news regarding
News or
Season
nudes?
5 or merch. Yes.
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 Just yes. Yeah.
Oh,
I don't
I don't
wanna
want to
leave.
leave. I mean, we're going to be right back here again next week.
But still, like,
Yeah, to record bonus episodes.
The next time we officially see you guys, I'll be 30.
yeah.
Yeah, she will.
Yes.
Oh, I forgot to tell you guys. So, like... Wait, did I tell you guys? On the podcast? I don't know. Anyway, so when I went to the beach week before last week, whenever the fuck I went, I had 4 preteens who thought I was 16 years old.
Yeah, you did tell us.
That must be nice.
I was like... No, I'm about to be 30.
It must be nice.
I got ID'd for the first time the other week. And I was... No,
Must be
I was so
nice.
taken off guard by the guy asking me for my ID. I just stood there like, what? And he says, ID. I was like, seriously, I look younger than 21 years old. And he was like, yeah. Fucking thank you, there's my ID. Like, I was... Honestly, fascinated.
That was your first time, Ryan, because of your forehead wrinkles.
What's wrong with my forehead ring? I don't have forehead rings.
When you come to America, me and you are
Sometimes
getting
you be
forehead Botox. Period.
It's when I do. It's when I
Because
do
you do that
that
all the time. That's why you. that is going to crease. Give it a couple of years, and
So
that
what?
those
You
will
want me
be
to
just
walk
there.
around with
Like you
no
won't even be like.
emotion on my face? Just
Oh, honey, that's like my permanent eyebrow line. Like it's like
Why
right
do you
here
think-
or something? I'm always like,
Oh, these are called 11s. I have these too because I always look
Yeah, I
mad.
have these
My
a
mom
lot.
has them, but she wants to get. They're called your 11s. But yeah, I want to get my forehead done. But yes, Ryan, I don't have wrinkles primarily because I walk around with my face emotionless.
okay. I will now walk around with emotions.
That's why children think that I'm 16, Ryan.
Noted. I shall try it. Try.
So when you come to America, me and you are both getting
All right.
forehead Botox. Okay, everyone, have a great summer. See you later.
Thank you much, everybody. We'll see you soon.
bye.
Cheers,
See
guys.
you at
See you.
season
Oh,
5.
God. I can't wait to get out of this dress.